There's nothing I'd rather do than return to you.
Viking Vittles is the weekend food backpack program. It provides bags of food for students on the weekends that are in either preschool up through 5th grade. It also provides care closets at the middle school, the high school, and the alternative learning center, so that students can go in there and take food, or we also have personal care items as well as school supplies in those closets. And back in 2019, actually Connie started a summer lunch program. And this was just the bags of food that we, typical of what we are currently offering. And that was in the parks, as we still do during the summer now. And from that, we saw that there was a need. And so we started talking with Family Pathways. We went with the school to talk to them about it. We went to Mora to look at their setup, how they do things there. And then in the fall of 2019, we decided we would give it a start. When we met with school, our intention had been to just do Sunrise Elementary. But they asked if we would also include the early childhood, because they thought there were a lot of parents there who could probably use it. So we did that as well. That's been a wild ride. Obviously, 2019, our inaugural year, we were fortunate enough also to get a grant from the county, which allowed us to buy all of our shelving and our carts that we use and some totes. We had initially started out with some big blue totes. Didn't take us long to figure out that if we built those up, we couldn't lift them. They were too heavy. So we ended up purchasing a bunch of totes, the same ones that we use today, the black ones, and each hold 8 bags. That got us through 2019. 2020, as everyone knows, was the start of the pandemic. So through March, we were able to do our normal delivery to the schools and everything. But after that, schools all shut down. So we had a big supply of food in the care closet, in the Viking Vittles closet. We ended up bringing that up to the health department in North Branch, packed the food up there, and then have done a drive-by. Families were notified on 2 particular days. They could come to the health department and they could drive by, and we would just put bags of food in their car. We distributed over 1,200 bags in 2 days at that time. Then the school started going to some distance learning, and they set up some classrooms over at the mall where kids could come in and get help if they needed help with something. So we talked to them, and we put one of our shelves down there with bags on it and sent notes home to parents that they could stop in there and pick up bags of food. So during the time that the schools were shut down for COVID, then coming back to school in 22 and things went back to normal, we went back to the same way we do it now. I will say that in the beginning, the packing was done by a variety of volunteers. So I had a lot of scheduling to do because everything was just, who's going to pack this week, who's going to deliver this week, who's going to put it in the backpacks this week. First year, the school put it in the backpacks, and they were so short-staffed that they weren't able to do it. They had a volunteer that did it for 1 year, but then she went on board as a teacher over there, so she wasn't able to do it. So they asked if we would find people. So I was finding different people. That was one thing I was very pleased to do, that I could find volunteers in the community to do all these projects, whether it was packing or whatever, but it was very time-consuming finding different groups to pack, to deliver the vittles, to put them in the backpacks and stuff. So eventually, Lisa from the school asked about having the students from the Life Work Center do it. And they have been doing it for the last few years. They do all the packing here on Wednesdays, except for the dates that Viking or that either Edge or Confirmation pack. And they also put the bags in the backpack, except for when there is no school on Friday, then I find someone else to put the bags in the backpacks on those days. So it's much more streamlined. We have such wonderful volunteers that are just here every week, Connie and Rich that set up for it, Tom and Terry, that pick up all of the food from family pathways and bring it over here and put it in the care plan. So it's pretty seamless now. When we first met with the school, they were a little hesitant to let us start the program because their concern was, even though it was going to be a program led by Trinity, people, because it was going through the schools, people would see it as a school program. And they were concerned that if we fell apart mid-year, parents would be very unhappy that we started this program and then weren't able to continue it. So sitting at the table, I did take a leap of faith and I said, we'll guarantee we're going to do it the whole year. I thought, well, we can do that. Because we were expecting 50 to 60 kids to sign up for it. School started and we got all the numbers. We were over 150, close to 200 kids at the time. So I got very nervous at that point that we have to get some funding because we had promised that it's going to be continued for the whole year. So we've done a lot of fundraising since that point in order to keep it up because we currently do 271 days a week plus the care closet. So it's over $55,000 a year to keep the program going. So we reach out to anyone and everyone to get funding. I tend to make sure that there's somebody set up for packing. If something happens where Life Work Center can't do it, then I'll find someone else to do it. If Connie or Rich can't be here to set up or something, then I find someone else. I make sure that there's someone to get the totes to the schools. I make sure that there is someone to put the totes in the backpacks. And then I kind of watch the finances carefully. I'm always, a lot of our stuff comes from Sam's. Some of the stuff comes from Family Pathways. I'm always trying to watch the prices and make sure we're getting the best deal we can. I also will send letters out to different organizations and to businesses looking for donations. We've made a video that some of us have taken out. I presented it at North Branch City Hall, Lincoln Branch Church, Emmanuel Lutheran Church, and I've talked to people over at the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, and they're very anxious to become involved as well. So we just keep spreading the word. I just look at it from the command we have to, when you feed the children, when you feed the least of these or that are hungry, thirsty, clothe them, and show them that you care. You're doing it for Christ as well. And I think that anybody who's working through Viking Meals is showing we're feeding these children, we're making sure that they have what they need, and so they know that there's somebody out there who cares. And it has strengthened my faith. Looking at the community and seeing how they've come beside Trinity to help support this program, both financially and with labor to help us. I would say volunteer with whatever you want to do. Personally, start within the church. There's many opportunities that you can do. Stretch yourself, but you'll get as much out of your volunteering as those that you're serving. And if it's not within the church, there's certainly other opportunities out there as well where you can volunteer and it will help you strengthen your faith.